Man, this movie just made me hungry. Lee Cronin's The Mummy is the new horror movie out this weekend. I mean, ow, dude. This movie really hurt to watch. In a good way. The movie follows this family. They're living in Cairo for a little bit. Mom, a dad, brother, and a sister. But the daughter gets abducted, and 8 years later, she's found in a sarcophagus. And then a bunch of really bad stuff happens. Where to even begin? It takes a lot to make me squirm and be uncomfortable while watching a horror movie. I love gore. There were some times in this movie that they just did, really gross, nasty stuff. I don't want to say too much. Eating things that should not be eaten. Skin. It's so vague, but, I suppose it's in the trailer. Bodily fluids. Just some really gross stuff. There was one really tense and really nasty moment. That was probably the hardest to watch for me. All I'll say is feet. But really, what gets to me with the gore in this movie, that it's not fun. Because all the violence in this movie, almost all the violence in this movie, is happening to this little girl. It's yeah, she's got a demon inside of her. She's not really feeling the pain. And it's just these really awful things happening to this grieving family. That's what separates Primate from The Mummy. In Primate, it's these really ridiculous, over-the-top, gruesome things happening to, young adults. And it's so unrealistic and it's so silly that you laugh. Because the characters are all so stupid and you're rooting for them to die. Well, in this, it's not entirely realistic, but more realistic than Primate, happening to real, characters you actually feel bad for. So it's not really fun or entertaining. It's not the ridiculous, silly, over-the-top carnage candy of, let's say, Thanksgiving. It feels darker, it feels more mean. Definitely don't go with anybody who has a weak stomach. I went with my mom, and now I'm up for adoption. This movie was pretty good at creating characters that you actually, feel bad for and you don't want them to die. Unfortunately, some people make really dumb mistakes in this movie. These horrible things keep happening, and they don't think to take daughter, back to the hospital. Not gonna lie, there was some clunky dialogue. This line is in the trailer, and some people have been already clowning on it. I believe it was, "What is our daughter doing at a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus?" The, father character kind of bugged me. I kind of wish this movie had a bigger budget so they could go with somebody who could act. This guy did not sell the role. He's a grieving father. Something glaringly obvious about his portrayal in this movie. It's the only facial expression he has is, or most commonly, most of the movie he's just going, what if I just did the rest of this review like this? It's not as bad as some people are saying. It's a fine, average horror movie with some pretty solid gore. Something I really didn't like was the ending, though. They did some weird stuff. I wish it was more clear-cut. Common complaint I see is that this Mummy movie is not mummy enough. I guess. It's a little different, I guess you could say. It's not your grandfather's mummy. Literally, it's pretty different from the 1930 movie. It's also not your father's mummy, because it is very different from the Brendan Fraser movies. And it's not even your older brother's mummy, because it's not like the Tom Cruise one at all. Yeah, it's different. It's more of a horror take. But there's still wrappings. There's still sarcophagus. There's still mummified corpses. There's still curses. It's just a little change. As we close out this review, I have to do the ranking. Overall, I like this movie. Do I honestly think it's worth spending your hard-earned money on by going out to a theater? Probably not. Unless you're a really big horror fan, I think you can wait until it comes on streaming. Ranking time! As always, last place, Primate, and then Mercy. Newcomer to the ranking alert, Mike and Nick and Alice. I did actually review this movie as well as Mercy. but they were posted as shorts. I didn't rank the movies in that short. Then I have The Bride, Scream 7, which people are gonna think is like a knock on the other movies, but I like this one, so yeah. Newcomer to the list alert, again, Lee Cronin's The Mummy. The runner-up, Project Hail Mary. And number one, still somehow the reigning champ, Send Help. I really liked that movie. You would not expect, like, mid to late April, this would still be my number one. It was really good, and I want to talk about something for a second. There was a scene in Send Help that made me even more uncomfortable and made me squirm and honestly made my pulse pound, like, even more than anything in this movie, and they didn't show anything. Nothing was happening on screen besides the sound effects, some, like, minimal blood spraying, and the expression on the actors' faces. I guess that's just the genius of Sam Raimi.